Welcome to the game room. Alright guys, hey, welcome back to the channel. In today's Let's Paint, we are painting Death on the Line from Don't Look Back. And we're going to paint up Boxcar Willy. Sorry about the glare. Boxcar Willy is basically Leatherface. But I found lots of really cool pictures of Leatherface, and I'll put them up on the screen now. And I really like that, but the problem is Leatherface is wearing a big apron, and this Boxcar Willy is not. He's just wearing coveralls. So I really wanted to do that big yellow, but I decided no. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to do something similar to what the box art looks like. I'm going to change it up a little bit, but we're going to go with it, and we're going to see how it comes out. So anyway, let's get to it. Okay, here we got Boxcar Willy. He is all primed and ready to go. So our first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do his skin. So just to go over the model real quick, you've got skin, hands, his knees where it's torn, and everywhere that his mask is not. So around his face where the mask would go. Then we've got once we do that. We have his shirt, which we're going to do, and it's basically going to be a white, I'm going to do mummy robes, because I've never used this paint before, and I thought it would be, I just want to see how it looks, but I mean, any off-white would work. And then we'll hit it with the Apothecary White to give it a wash. Then we also have his coveralls and his hat, the chainsaw itself, which will be basically yellow, with metal for the blades, and then we'll come back and we'll do the gore and visceral here, and we'll splatter him up real good with some probably blood for the blood god. And his boots, which of course will be Black Templar. The mask itself, I'm going to try zombie skin, which is it's just a necrotic flesh would work well too, but this is another one that I've had and I've not actually used it, so I want to see how that looks. So let's get started with the skin, and of course we start with the tanned flesh, and then we'll hit some highlights with the barbarian flesh, and then later on we'll come back and we'll hit it with the flesh wash. So if you've watched this whole series, you know where we're at. Let me get the right, man, I can't hold on to anything today. Let me get the right brush here, and we already got some paint on our palette. I'm going to add a little bit of water just to thin it just a tad. And make sure I've got you on the screen here. All right. This is really just for the most highest exposed areas. When we do the flesh wash, it'll come back and that will tie all of that together. All right. Okay, so next up we're going to do his shirt. And we'll do that. Like I said, I'm using mummy robes, but any white, off-white that you have would work. You can use any color you want. It's your model. I'm just using white. And this kind of looks like what mummy's bandages would look like. Anyway, like I said, I hadn't used it before, so I wanted to try this out. Let me try a different camera angle real quick. See if that's any better for you. Can you see that? Maybe. Anyway, we're just painting his shirt. Get that all the way around. And this is one of the few models that we've done in the series that's not almost entirely contrast paints, so that's a little different. So he's going to be a little slower, but I still think we'll get really good effect. We're still going for speed, we're still going for tabletop 3-foot distance quality, so we're still trying to get your models done as quick as possible. Up with our gray sear. Next thing we're going to do is let's go ahead and cover the boots. We'll get the chainsaw, we'll come back to the skin, and then we'll do the coveralls, and then finish off with the shirt. Okay, Black Templar for the boots. Yellow. Any yellow will do that you like. I just happen to have demonic yellow handy, and I like it. We're going to add just a touch of water. Sometimes the yellows are already pretty thin, so you may not have to add anything, since this is a brand new bottle. Alright, and now we're just going to do the chainsaw. Alright, any little blemishes we miss, the wash will cover, because we're going to come back once we get the saw blade painted, which I guess we can go ahead and do that now. We're going to hit that with a dark wash and cover up any blemishes or anything that we might have missed. So silver, so we're going to use gunmetal. And this is a very dark metallic If you want it brighter, you could use like just, you know, another brighter silver. If you're using the Army Painter stuff, like the platinum or anything like that, would be good. We're gonna make it dark with the wash anyway, so. I actually had to look at the picture on the art to see what this was. I was like, that is the weirdest looking piece of resin hanging off there. I was like, you know, is that like a piece of flash? And I almost cut it off, and I said, what is that? Let me go look, because it almost looks like it's supposed to be like entrails or blood, because if the way he's holding it, it would kind of like he's, you know, the chainsaw's going and he's kind of waving it above his head, so maybe it's like guts and stuff flying off. And sure enough, that's what it was. It's, you know, visceral or whatever. So I was like, oh, I was glad I didn't cut that off. And we're gonna paint it a bloody, gory red. And we're gonna add lots of blood to this guy, because we can. I think it'll look cool. Done. We said we're going to come back to the flesh, so we're going to finish the flesh off with some flesh wash. That way it can start drying. And we're going to hit the hands and the screen. Yeah. Let's see if I can zoom in just a tad. There we go. Let's do the coveralls. Alright, so the coveralls, I think we're going to do ultramarine blue. So we're going to zoom back out just a tad. And similar to what we did for Holden, I'm going to mix in, I don't want it this dark, so I'm going to mix in some Apothecary, and I'll probably mix in a little contrast just to help thin it down some. So let's start with our ultramarines blue, about that much. And that's about 2 solid brushes, maybe 3, about 3 probably. And now our Apothecary white. I'm going to add in probably 2 brushes of that. Go ahead and get that mixed together. Well, that's not bad. Let's just go with that. Let's see what it looks like. That's not too bad. quite. Alright. Not bad. Not bad at all. Alright. Alright, so with the mask we're going to try zombie skin and see how that looks. Zombie skin. Like I said, necrotic flesh would work too. He is wearing somebody else's face. Or you can do it up like a mask if you want. I mean, technically he's not really Leatherface because I'm calling that. But copyright, blah, blah, blah. But cool model, nonetheless. And I will come back and do his hat. Just a moment. Alright, let's go ahead and do his hat. We'll make his hat match the rest of him. So we're going to use that same blue on his hat. You know, leaving his hair like it is right now with just kind of the washes touching it almost gives it a gray haired look. Almost. Makes him kind of look like an old man. Kind of like it. I do kind of like it. There's a few things in there that I'm not happy with, so we're just going to go ahead and come back. Hit it with the black Templar. And very carefully come in here. Alright, let's get that flesh wash on him. Second round of flesh wash. And this is going to go, we're going to go ahead and hit there. And this down here the knees. I'll let that dry, see how that looks. So let's do the shirt. Again with our apothecary white. And we're using the apothecary white here on the shirt as literally as a wash. Well, we went with the mummy. Well, that's why like any white would do, but I mean, he's chopping people up. This is not going to be a clean white shirt. Army painter. And we're going to hit that on his, up here on the chainsaw. saw teeth. Okay, we're going to let this dry and see how it looks if we need to do anything else to it. So I'm going to pause here and we'll be right back. Alright, here's where we're at. And I'll move everything behind you so you can see a little better. Sorry. My penguins. By the way, no. Cup says California, but I'm in Texas. My sister lived in California for a while and brought that back for me when I was a teenager because I love penguins. Hence the penguin hat, and you can't see it, but watching the Penguins game. Yeah, so anyway, here he is. I'm gonna hit his face with the dark wash. If you're happy with the way it looks, hey, then go with it. I'm gonna thin this down just a little bit, what I have left on here, and I'm just gonna darken it up a little bit because it kind of looks a little too plain. The flesh wash didn't really, it kind of browned the zombie tone, which is kind of what I wanted, but it didn't really do what I wanted. So I'm going to try hitting it with a light, kind of dark tone. Let's see if that does what I want. A little bit there. Ew, that's kind of cool. Kind of looks like an old moldy face. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry, and we'll come back and see how that looks. So, pause again. Okay. While we're so far, I like how that's working. We're gonna go ahead and do the blood for the blood god. I'm actually just using a mild dry brush. I'm going to get this visceral up here really good. But I want the chaos that the dry brush will bring to the rest of the chainsaw. Now, we can call him done. At this point, we got some blood. Let's add a little more blood there. A little more blood. Those of you who've seen Men in Tights, a little more blood. Great movie. Okay, so now chainsaw looks like he just hack somebody up. Okay, great. I'll give you a white background. Look at that. Sort of white, anyway. Okay. But should he be splashed with a little blood? Well, he could be. So let's see how we can do that. Put him down. I'm gonna buy a napkin because this could be a little messy. If I get some blood for the blood god in my brush, and I do this, flick the bristles, you get blood splatter, which is kind of cool. So, what the heck? He's my model. I want it now. Let's see if we can do a little blood splatter on him. Not a ton. Let's just see how it is. Alright, so we're going to load up our blood for the blood god. I need this propped up slightly, like that, and let's see what happens. I think it's going everywhere but him. Maybe I don't have enough on there. You know, it worked the first time. Alright, let's get... Alright, we're loaded this time. Now I probably have too much. There we go. town here. But it does kind of give you a cool effect where you can get, and then using the dry brush, you can just kind of put on more as you see fit. All right. You can get as much blood on there as you want. I apparently like blood because I am kind of going to town on it, but, you know, what the heck. I mean, after all, he's chainsawing teenagers, so it's not like he shouldn't have worn white to work that day. I mean, if you're going to chop up teenagers, wear something dark. Okay. Well, there you go. Let me get him based, and we'll take a look at him complete here in just a second. Okay, so there you go, guys. Boxcar Willy. All in all, I think it timed out at about 50 minutes, not counting drying time. Like I said, he was the first one that we didn't go out pretty much majority of contrast paints. We actually saw this. So you can tell the contrast paints, when we did it with the other ones, really sped up the process, and I can't recommend them enough. If you're going for tabletop quality, you've got lots of minis to do. So, and again, thanks for watching, and like, subscribe, throw me a comment down. Hope this helps get your Death on the Line Boxcar Willy painted. I'm anxious to get him on the table now that he's done, because he looks pretty darn cool with all that blood. Anyway, thanks for watching, and have a great day.